Hello everyone, myself Dr. D.R. Samle, Department of Botany, Shanta Mahodalaya, Purpally. Today we will see the topic transpiration. In this topic, we will study the definition, types of transpiration, structure of stomata, mechanism of opening and closing of stomata, and theories of opening and closing of stomata. At first, we will see in brief introduction about the transpiration. We know that plants absorb water from the soil through the roots. Then they absorb water, slowly move upward towards the aerial parts, and then it is distributed throughout the plant body. In the plant body, only some amount of water is utilized for metabolic or physiological activity, whereas the remaining large amount of water is lost from the aerial parts by the process of transpiration. Transpiration means the loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plants is called as transpiration. Or, in other words, the evaporation of water from the aerial parts of the plants is called as transpiration. These are the definitions of transpiration. Then after the definition, we will see the types of transpiration. The transpiration is of three types. Actually, on the basis of loss of water, it is of three types. First one, cuticular transpiration. Second one, lenticular transpiration. And third one, stomatal transpiration. Now, we will see each one in detail. First one, cuticular transpiration. Then, which transpiration is called as cuticular transpiration? The transpiration which takes place through the cuticle is called as cuticular transpiration, or in other words, when the loss of water takes place through the cuticle in the plants is called as cuticular transpiration. We know that cuticle is present on the epidermis or outside to the epidermis. The amount of water lost through the cuticle is small or less. It is about 3 to 10% only out of the total transpiration. After the cuticular transpiration, the next one is lenticular transpiration. Then, which transpiration is called as lenticular transpiration? The transpiration which takes place through the lenticels is called as lenticular transpiration. Or, when the loss of water takes place through the lenticels in the plants is called as lenticular transpiration. Generally or mainly, the lenticels are found on the stem. The amount of water is lost through the lenticels is very less. It is about 0.1% only out of the total transpiration. Hence, it is negligible. Then, after the lenticular transpiration, the last type of the transpiration is stomatal transpiration. Which transpiration is called as stomatal transpiration? The transpiration which takes place through the stomata is called as stomatal transpiration. Or when the loss of water takes place through the stomata in the plants is called as stomatal transpiration. Generally, the stomata are found on the leaves, but sometimes they are also found on the grain stem. The stomata are more in number on the lower surface of the leaves. The amount of water lost through the stomata is very high. It is about 90 to 97% of the total transpiration. Means maximum loss of water takes place through the stomata. Hence, the stomatal transpiration is the most important. The stomatal transpiration takes place during the day, and at the night when the stomata get closed, at that time the transpiration takes place through the cuticle and lenticels. Then here, after the types of transpiration, we will see the structure of stomata. Then, which structures are called as stomata? The minute apertures which are found on the epidermis in the plants are called as stomata. Or, in other words, the small openings which are found on the epidermis in the plants are called as stomata. They are found on the aerial parts of the plants only, that is, on the leaves and green stem. They never found on the roots. The stomata are numerous or many on the lower surface of the leaves. The size of the stomata is about 10 to 40 micron in length and 3 to 10 micron in width. Each stoma consists of two special cells. These cells are called as guard cells. The guard cells are surrounded by some epidermal cells, and these cells are called as either subsidiary cells or accessory cells. The guard cells may be kidney or dumbbell shaped. Actually, the kidney shaped guard cells are found in dicot plants, whereas the dumbbell shaped guard cells are found in monocot plants. In dicot plants, the stomata are scattered, whereas in the monocots, they are found in parallel rows. The guard cells are living, means protoplasm is present. But in the guard cells, the more protoplasm is present than the ordinary cells or normal cells. In the cytoplasm, a nucleus and many chloroplasts are present. The guard cells are surrounded by the walls, that is, outer and inner walls. The outer walls are thin, elastic, and semi-permeable, whereas the inner walls are thick and non-elastic. In between the guard cells, common walls are present, but here the common walls are free from each other. Hence, a small opening is formed. It is called as pore. The guard cells and the pore are collectively called as stoma. Inside to the stoma, an empty space or cavity is present. It is called as substomatal cavity. After the completion of structure of stomata, now we will see the mechanism of opening and closing of stomata. The opening and closing of stomata depends on the turgid and flaccid conditions of the guard cells. Means, when the guard cells become turgid, stomata remains open, and when the guard cells become flaccid, stomata get closed. We know that stomata remains open during the day, whereas they get closed at the night. Now we will see in detail how the opening and closing of stomata takes place, or why they remain open during the day and closed at the night. Actually, what happens during the day, the osmotic pressure of the guard cells increases. Then, due to the increase in osmotic pressure, the guard cells start to absorb water from the surrounding cells, means mesophyll cells, and then they become slowly enlarged and turgid. Due to the turgidity, a pressure is created. That pressure is called as turgor pressure. Then the turgor pressure is exerted on the outer walls of the guard cells. Why on the outer walls of the guard cells? Because the outer walls are thin and elastic, whereas the inner walls are thick and non-elastic. Hence, the turgor pressure is exerted on the outer walls. Due to the turgor pressure, the outer walls slowly move towards outward. At the same time, They also stretch to the inner walls towards outward or outside, resulting into opening of stomata takes place or stomata become open. In opposite to this, during the night, what happens? The osmotic pressure of the guard cells decreases. Due to the decrease in osmotic pressure, the water start to move out of the guard cells, means into the surrounding cells, that is mesophyll cells. Then slowly the guard cells lost their turgidity as well as turgor pressure. Then due to the loss of turgidity as well as turgor pressure, both the outer and inner walls slowly move towards inside, means towards their original position, or they regain their original position. Finally, guard cells become flaccid and stomata get closed. From this study, it is clear that in the opening and closing of stomata, turgor pressure or turgor mechanism is involved. When the stomata remains open, at that time the loss of water takes place by the process of transpiration. Through the stomata, not only loss of water takes place, but also exchange of gases takes place. Means the rate of transpiration and exchange of gases depends on the opening and closing of stomata. Thank you.